In this video, I'm going to share with you the new Charlotte Tilbury Instant Look of Love in a palette. This is the Pretty Blushed Beauty palette, the lighter of the two that she has released. And I also purchased the Wedding Bells Matte Revolution lipstick. If you would like to see how I created this look using those products, just keep watching. Welcome to my channel. My name is Ange and I love sharing all things beauty and lifestyle aimed at the more mature woman. I enjoy my skincare, I love playing with makeup, and I just like sharing that with you as I navigate my mature years. So if you are interested in seeing more content aimed around beauty and lifestyle for the more mature woman, please consider subscribing by clicking on the subscribe button down below. I would love to see you back. I upload videos on a weekly basis and I'd love to see you here. Now, I got this palette literally 2 days ago and I have been dying to get into it. I love Charlotte Tilbury. I would have to say, if I could only ever purchase one brand of makeup or beauty products, it would be Charlotte Tilbury. It is one brand that I have tried everything across the board as far as makeup goes. I haven't tried any of her skincare, but I have tried every category from her range and I have never been disappointed. The love of these palettes is real, as I have 4 previous palettes and loving these is just easy to do, and this palette that I have today is no exception, to the point where I think I'm going to have to purchase the deeper version of this palette that was released at the same time. These palettes are amazing because you can complete your whole face of makeup from this one palette. She has had a change up. This one here used to always be in highlight, and the 2 in the middle here were 2 cheek colors. She has rearranged how she has designed this palette. You still have your 3 eyeshadow shades along the bottom. You have your bronzer shade here. You have 1 cheek color, and she has popped the highlight shade here as well, and then added the face powder. I have to say, I think that's a brilliant concept because now you have literally everything in one compact. I personally don't set my face with the face powder from Charlotte Tilbury, as I find it doesn't give me the longevity I desire for my oily combo skin, but I do like using it as a finishing powder, so I'm really happy to see that in this palette. I also don't stick to just using these shades for eyeshadows. I mix and match all the shades in these palettes that I have. I have used the bronzer in my eye look today. You can also incorporate the highlighter and the cheek color as well. So you can get many different looks from these palettes. You don't have to just stick to how it is intended. You can mix and match and create any look that you desire. Now, the beautiful lipstick, I am loving the way that she is bringing out these lipsticks in refillable packaging. You can purchase the whole component for $37 US, but what I'm really enjoying is that you can buy the refills for $25 US, and I think that is an amazing and fantastic option for these lipsticks. I got mine in Wedding Bells, which is a Matte Revolution formula. The packaging on these lipsticks is divine, with the little crystal encrusting on the case. It is in gold and it is also refillable. On the bullet, you can see a beautiful engraving, I would say, of a heart on the actual lipstick bullet. The palette has had a different repackaging to the last instant palettes. It is now very similar to the Film Star Bronze and Glow palette, and it is just a beautiful array of shades in this palette. So let's get into how I created this look using those products. So I'm going to start with the face from the palette. I have my Lamour foundation in 310 and my Huda Pound Cake powder, my Pat McGrath concealer, and I've done my brows. So I'm going to go back to one of my other face in a palette palettes and use the bronzer shade in here just as a light contour before we bronze up with the palette today. I'm just going to put a little bit in the back of my face here, just from the top of my ear and down just a little bit, just to help give me a little bit of a hollow in my cheek because I do have a fuller face. So that's just a little bit of contouring from one of my previous palettes. This palette is absolutely gorgeous, and now that I've got it and see that it's nice and neutral and a bit lighter, I think I'll try and get to the deeper palette as well. I just love these palettes, they're so versatile. So I'm taking the number 4 face bronzer and I'm just going to bronze that using my Sonia G Sculpt 2 brush. And just around the perimeter of my face, and that is quite pigmented. That is showing up on my skin very easily. I just love these palettes for the ease of use of them. Everything's together in one place, and it's quite funny because I have been using them lately for getting ready in the morning. It's just easy, everything's there. I'm not sure about contouring under my, or bronzing under my chin, because when I do it just looks like I've got a stripe because it is so full and I don't really have a neck. But we'll try that. Taking my Sonia G Cheek Pro brush, my favourite cheek brush, and we're going to go in with the cheek colour. Ooh, it's quite pigmented. Yeah, it is. I wasn't expecting that from the lighter palette. That is quite pigmented. Taking my Anastasia A23 brush, we'll go in the highlight. And I love Charlotte's highlights. They aren't really super blingy. They highlight without being over the top. Just a beautiful glow. Oh, I like this one. Now before I highlight my nose, I might just bronze a little bit on my nose. I'm going to turn the lights down a wee bit, it's a little bit bright. Okay, so what I've done is I've turned the ring light down. It's a very cloudy, gloomy day here, and I am using my windows in my bedroom because my daughter's home from uni for the weekend, so she has my filming room. So I set up here this morning because I really wanted to film this palette and play with it. I'm going to take just a fluffy eyeshadow shader brush and go with the bronze and just try and shape my nose. I've got quite a wide nose, the wide Polynesian nose. Would you believe my husband is actually surfing in this cold, miserable, rainy day? He spends most of his afternoons after work and weekend surfing. And I'm just blending that with the same brush. And I might blend it a little bit more shortly. Okay, going in with the highlight just on the tip of my nose and just up here. And I have a little blending brush from Morphe that I use just to try and tone it down. But I need some shape to my nose. Now we're going to go with the eyes, and I have primed my eyes with the Anastasia eye primer. I haven't set it, and I will do that with the face powder. I'm going to use the face powder that is in this palette to buff when I'm finished. So just setting that eye primer. I'm going to go in with the bronzer as a transition colour, and I'm going to use my Morphe R37 for that. And I'm just going to take it in this upper portion where I would prefer to have a crease rather than where it is. You'll know the drill with that with me. Using a Wayne Goss number 18 brush, I'm going to go in with the number 2 shade, the enhanced shade, and tap that in the outer portion of my eye and taking it into my socket line, which is a little bit lower than where we took the bronzer. This is a very soft colour, very soft colour. Be great for every day. Now, I feel I have light medium skin tone in the winter, definitely medium in the warmer months. So you can't go wrong with this shade, I don't think. You can, it's just such a neutral shade. It's going to be nice and easy for work days. I'm going to stick with the same brush and go in with the number 3 smoke shade. And we'll just go into the outer corner there. Upwards and just taking that in a little bit. I'll run it under my eye. Actually, I really like that. It's really soft. I'm just taking that in a little bit just to give it a little bit more depth. Right, now for the fun shade. This seems a little bit different to what I'm used to from Charlotte. It's quite a glittery, it looks like it could be chunky, but in putting my finger in there, it is not. It is very smooth, but it actually looked quite chunky. So I'm going to tap that in my inner lid as much as I can with my long nails, and then I'll follow it up with a shadow brush. It's actually quite an intense shade. It's not just a topper shade. So I'm going to take a synthetic brush from Morphe just make sure it's right into the start of my inner eye. Oh, I really like that. It's pretty. I'm going to go back with my Wayne Goss brush just to make sure all the edges are blended. Actually, I think this combination of colours is a foolproof. I don't think you could get much wrong with it. They're blending so well. I'm not being too fussy and I'm really happy with that. Just going to run a little bit more of the smoke shade under the eyes. I'm going to take a small wee brush and grab the highlight shade and just pop that in the inner corner. It's quite bright. Quite light and bright. I quite like that. Will I attempt it under the eyebrow? Maybe just a little bit there. Don't usually like, because look at the gap between my eyebrow and where the transition shade is, so that means I'm going to have to go back with my transition brush and I will just blend that up to the highlight so it's not too disparate in look. Just tweaking. I don't think I went up high enough in this eye. Wow, I really like that. Really, really do. Might just pack a little bit more of that with my finger. A bit of pop. I think that would actually look really nice wet too. Okay guys, I'm going to pop off camera, do my eyeliner and my lashes, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have applied a very dark brown in my waterline and I did a very soft lined smudged line on my upper lashes, added lashes. Looks so much better with lashes. Now before we go into the lipstick, I'm going to go back in with the palette and using the face powder, I'm going to just buff my skin, and I'm actually using a Morphe bronzer brush, an R2, and just make sure I really do blend that nose contour especially, and just buffing. It's a lovely smoothing powder. I don't like using this powder for setting my face because I don't find it has the longevity of the Huda Beauty powder, but for buffing or just finishing off later, I do like it. I'm actually so excited to be using the lipstick. I went for the Wedding Bells because it looked a little bit more neutral pink, but I am tempted. I think I'll just get the refill of the Nude Romance because it's a bit more on the brown side and I wouldn't mind trying that for something different. So, but I think I'll get that in the refill. So I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk. This is not my favourite lip liner. I think Iconic Nude might be better for me. But in saying that, I have used quite a bit of it. And I was going to put a little bit of lip balm on. I still might. And I might just add a little bit of lip balm, seeing as it's a Matte Revolution formula. This is the By Terry Rose de Balm. De Boom. I'll just put a little bit on. So my lips don't look cake, don't look all dry. This stunning lipstick. I love the case. And the good thing about it is that it is a refillable. And I'm loving the fact that she's doing these beautiful cases with refillable lipsticks. I'm hoping this is going to suit me. It's a little bit darker than I thought, but let's give it a go. Bearing in mind that I have put a balm on underneath because this is a Matte Revolution formula. I think that lipstick might be a little bit cool for the eye look. I think the colours of the eyeshadows are quite neutral. A lot of people have said that they're cool, but I think they are very neutral. I don't feel they're very cool on my skin tone. But that is the finished look using the Charlotte Tilbury Instant Look of Love in a palette, the Pretty Blushed Beauty, and using all of the shades in here to create this look. I might add just a little pop more blush. I'm going out with the kids very soon. Keely needs running shoes because I've talked them into doing a half marathon in November and travelling down south to do it. I haven't even started training, so I'm going to have to get my act together because they've started training for it. And I've had a couple of attempts and had a few hiccups with minor injuries, so I'm going to have to get my act together and get onto it. Otherwise I could be walking the 22 kilometres rather than running them. It's a big goal for me. I've never run a half marathon before. I've only ever done around 10Ks, and that's a long time ago. Running is not my forte, but I decided I needed a bit of a goal to be motivated in my fitness side of life. And signing up for a half marathon is a bit of a kick in the pants to get motivated. Anyway guys, that is the final look. I love the palette. I love the palette. I'm so happy I got it. I'm very tempted now to get the other one. I thought I wouldn't, but I just love these palettes. As you can see, I now have 5 of them, and soon maybe 6. So I just love these palettes. They are so simple, so easy to use. Everything is in one compact. It's all you would need if you were traveling. I would possibly always, well, I always have when I've gone traveling, I've always packed 2 with differing colours so that I can have a bit of a play. And I thoroughly am happy with that purchase. I hope you enjoyed that, guys. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up. I would truly appreciate it. And if you haven't already, please click on the subscribe button down below. I'd love to see you back. I do upload videos on a weekly basis, and I would love to see you here. I hope you've all had a beautiful and a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. See you later, guys. Bye.